Yo, Kingdom, community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe.
Boom! Yes. And you see it. Yes, you see it. I know y'all upset with me for real now. I know y'all upset with me, man. We got another impactful Omega Sci-Fi dog in the building. Yes. Don't be hating on us. Okay? Listen.
Root to the good bros.
Root to the good bros, you haters. Alright, listen. We got my guy, man, Dr. Ben Davis in the building. Yes, man. The king himself. The legendary, man. Listen. Edgewood, man. Saxon Holmes, man. Stand up, man. Okay? Listen. Sid Johnson, you got to be loving this. You have to be proud. Alright? So we're going to get to that. But listen, before we get to this king right here, man, this legendary figure, we have to pay 2 quick bills, okay? 2 real quick bills, all right? Now, number 1, if God woke you up this morning, give him all the praise. Give him all the praise because he is worthy to be praised. Listen, man, if you was able to brush your teeth this morning, give God all the praise. I promise you, man, because he's worthy, man. Listen, God's grace and mercy, okay? Listen, give him all the praise right now, man. Listen, without him, there's no us. There's no anybody, all right? He paves the way. He comes on his time. Not your time, but his time, all right? Number 2, listen, you hear the music playing in the background, don't you? Yeah, so that means that you already know where you're at. The Groove, man, the Groove, Smoothie and Juice Bar, located on 7510 Gardner Webb Road. Come out and get you a smoothie. Listen, it's black owned, okay? And we have some phenomenal, some excellent smoothies, okay? Listen, you come in here, I promise you will not leave without doing the 2-step, okay? I promise you, man. We got the smoothies, okay? And the sounds, I promise you. Come here, man, have a good time, man. It's nothing but good vibes, man. Good smoothies, man. We're gonna get Doc one too. I promise you, okay? Doc loves smoothies. So he's here because he's about to get one of the best smoothies ever made. Alright? Now, listen. Stand up on your feet right now and give this man a well-deserved standing ovation and round of applause, man. Big brother, man. Thank you so much, bro. Man, listen, man. You have been a big brother to so many people, and you've been a legendary figure. You have impacted, Columbia, South Carolina, and beyond. But for starters, brother, some people may not know where you're from.
Yeah.
Where you from, my brother?
Yeah, I'm from Alabama Court, Saxon Holmes, man.
ABC, man.
ABC, 04 Alabama Court, 53-3 Saxon Home, 18-3 Fairfield Arms.
Oh, just like that. Verbatim, you heard it.
Yes, sir.
Verbatim.
Yeah, that's my
now, you went to the legendary high school, man, Sid Johnson High School. That young man, that young man, walking those halls. My question is, did that young man see this current grown man?
That's a great question, man. I would definitely say not at all. Definitely not freshman year. I remember when the school district did the rezoning in Richland 1. It was like 1983.
Right.
When they rezoned us, and we were scheduled to go to AC4 because I was in Alabama Court at the time, and I didn't want to go to Johnson. And so definitely when I got there, as far as being in the community and kind of having a certain type of mindset, I didn't see the success. More importantly, I didn't really see the vision and the purpose that God had for my life, right? So it took me some time to kind of come into a realization of that obviously I was blessed. But so many of us just thought that by the time we were going to be 18 or by the time we were 25, we were gonna be locked up or dead.
Right.
So it was a lot of things going on at that time. You have to remember in the 80s
That
and
was
the
the
early
stigma.
90s.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, people were hustling like crazy back then.
Big
so
time.
every you was either a hustler or you was hooping,
Right.
and you was just trying to grind and make it. So I just figured at some point that lifestyle, or living in those type of communities was gonna catch me. But then I realized there were people in my community that were looking out for me. And once I recognized that, I realized that there were options for us. And so many people that did that. Whether it was the ladies in the neighborhood across the building from us, whether it was Fred Buxton,
Big Fred
at Drew Park,
Okay,
him
man, Drew Park,
and Mike,
legend.
him and Mike,
Yeah.
shout them out. They definitely took us under their wings, kept us out of trouble. Whether it was Coach Gates and C.A. Johnson,
that's my guy.
They took care of us, made sure we had our things and what we needed. And there was so many countless other people, man. Mr. Cleveland, Miss Edney.
Mr. Cleveland, you said something.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was just so many people at our school. So Johnson had a real vibe back then. It was super proud. We were super proud to be students and people from that community, because that school has so much history.
Right.
And it's remarkable. I tell a story about Miss Bolden. Miss Bolden used to sit on her porch when we would walk to school. And when we were walking to school in the morning and afternoon, Miss Bolden would call you up to her porch and get you to do something for her. And if you don't know who Miss Bolden was, Miss Bolden is Charles Bolden's mother.
Facts.
Astronaut Charles Bolden. So you got an astronaut's mama in your neighborhood.
Wow.
She's asking you to do stuff. This lady is producer astronaut. You know what I'm saying? So she was, so you feel compelled to help her out. And so that's the kind of love we got, man. I tell people, economically poor or community rich. And so we were definitely community rich, man. And once I realized I was community rich, I recognized that I had a purpose.
Wow, man. So, we come from a region where not many people went to college.
Yeah.
However, you did. You went to Francis Marion, right? Let me ask you a question. How did Francis Marion change that 17-year-old that left St. John's?
Yeah. So a story that some people are aware of and some are not, I'll share with the audience. My first school was Gardner Webb.
Oh, North Carolina.
Yeah, Gardner Webb, North Carolina.
Wow.
And I had a hard time adjusting to Gardner Webb that freshman year. And so I had a conversation with the dean of students, and the dean of students told me that I needed to find a new institution, a new academic institution, because I was no longer going to be welcome at Gardner Webb.
Wow.
Yeah, I was getting into too much trouble, man. And so he's like, look,
Johnson ain't left.
he said, I'm gonna give you a chance, let you find another school.
Wow.
And then I'm not gonna suspend you from Gardner Webb, but you gotta find another school. So I found Francis Marion. Because I had a homeboy there.
Yeah.
And so when I got to Francis Marion, man, I had to do a complete 180 and really realize that I was blessed and I had a tremendous opportunity to make a difference in my life, man.
Wow.
So I got focused from the moment I hit the ground.
Real quick.
Yeah,
real quick. So
Gardner Webb got me focused though. Shout out to
man. Shout out to Gardner Webb, man, for keeping it real. Keeping it real. Right. But shout out to Francis Marion, man.
No doubt.
Giving my guy a second chance.
Yeah.
Okay, a second chance. We all need second, third, fourth, fifth chances out here. Okay. That's what it is. But for those who don't realize, that's why mentoring is so important. Right? So who were, some of your mentors while you was in college?
You know what? My biggest mentor and remains my biggest mentor is my uncle. Tim Davies is my biggest mentor. My uncle has been just a tremendous presence in my life from jump and from birth to now.
Wow.
I don't make any major decisions in this world without consulting him on that. Man, this dude is remarkable.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So he's been a big mentor. I had one. Miss Yolanda Hayward was a mentor of mine at Francis Marion. She was the director of Minority Affairs, and I worked for her in the Minority Affairs Office. That was my little job that I had. Was a little student job that I had there, and so she was tremendous for me as well. Miss Dr. Hayward was the provost at the time, and Randall, Mac, Randall's Jackson. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Randall Jackson.
Okay.
Chip Jackson's cousin.
Chip Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Randall was my he was at Francis Marion at the time. He was actually over our advisor for Omega Psi Phi.
What?
Yeah. Randall was our advisor. So Randall was a huge mentor to me while I was there.
Salute
as well.
to Randall,
yeah. So
man.
I had a lot of them,
That's-
man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So we all know, that education means so much to you. Why is that?
I've always felt like education was the key. Like I felt like if you were going to work hard at something and even have the finance, it was something that nobody can take away from you. You can't take knowledge away from you. So for me, learning was critical at that point.
Right.
And I felt like having an education opened up doors that some of the challenges of growing up impoverished closed. And so by having an education and putting myself in a position, I was able to then also help educate others and put them in a position. So it's kind of been my calling. It's kind of this way of how we move toward full self-actualization, becoming the best versions of ourselves. And so by becoming more educated, we began to become critical thinkers. And becoming critical thinkers allow us to really challenge some of the status quo and the structures that may exist that create some of these systems of inequity and poverty and things like that in our community. So having that education is a vehicle for that, and so we're passionate about it.
Wow. So with that being said, why does leadership mean so much to you? Because you merged the two.
Yeah.
So leadership is very important to you.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I think it's important for people to know that, one, that the title doesn't make you a leader, right? So having that title, whether it's a superintendent or whether it's coach or whether it's CEO or whatever, that doesn't really make you the leader. That's just a title that you have. Leadership is really about the qualities that you embody that will allow you to put yourself in a position to support other people so that you can help them see either the big picture, which is the vision, what you create for whatever organization that you might be leading, but they need to be able to see themselves in that as well, and they need to be able to see how they can achieve whatever their ultimate goal in life is, what their purpose is. So leadership was important for me because I've been around some great leaders and had an opportunity to work with some great leaders and beside some great leaders, but it's also something that is definitely needed as part of our community, to be able to reach back and provide that to some of these young brothers and sisters that's coming up now. Man.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, we come from a region, full of history makers. Okay, guys who have set the standard, man. True trailblazers. Okay, and we're looking at one right now because the reason why I merged the two was because my guy is leading a phenomenal district, okay? Richland School District 2, okay, where he is the superintendent, okay? Not only that, okay, my guy is the first black, right? Yeah. Male superintendent, okay? From C.A. Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, yes. So, my question is just a real simple question, man. How did you feel? Because see, we know you put in the work, all right? We know you put in the work, right? Well deserved. But but you didn't come from that district, right?
Right.
So how does it feel when they gave you the call saying, Dr. Davis, we choose you, bro?
Yeah. I had prepared myself up to that point, but there was a time that I didn't think that was possible.
Wow.
When maybe I was an assistant principal and a principal of schools, I didn't necessarily see that as part of the bigger picture.
Right.
but I began to prepare myself for that opportunity, because you want to be prepared for an opportunity. You don't want an opportunity to arise and you are not prepared and ready to accept it. Right. So I began preparing myself for that and educating myself on what it was going to take to be an effective leader at that level. And when I got the call, I mean, I was excited. Right. You know, of course, I called my wife, I called my grandmother, and to let them know that I've been given this opportunity.
You heard that?
And
you called his grandmother.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay.
Called my grandma, because my grandma raised me, so you know.
Wow.
So I had to call my grandmother.
That's awesome.
But brother, you know, I was so humbled and overcome with emotion, because I could not believe that God blessed me with this opportunity. Like, I felt, because I felt a lot of the blessings that I've been able to, a lot of blessings and the favor that I feel like I've had, I feel undeserving of those things from God. Like, I'm just the same fat kid from Saxon Home Island being in court. Like, I don't make no balls about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, so when God blessed me with these opportunities and giving this and giving me this favor,
but you put in the work.
I do, but you know, but still, I feel undeserving of God's grace, undeserving of His blessings, undeserving of His love, and so I try to stay humble, right? I try not to get too high, and I try not to get too low. Because I realized that this is a heavy mantle, man, to carry. Wow. This is not you know, you educating the nation's children is a serious responsibility. And you got to go into it with a sense of humility. Right. And understanding that you got to make some tough decisions. Very tough. You know, that everybody's not going to agree with.
There's a lot of pushback.
Yeah, you know, and there's going to be some real tough challenges. And so you have to be prepared to deal with all of those things. But I feel so blessed and feel so fortunate that I've been given this opportunity, and so I had to thank God for that. And there has not been a day that I don't thank Him as a result. And it's not a day I don't ask Him for wisdom and guidance. Come on. And in the decisions that I make, especially the tough ones, to remove me from those decisions and give me the clarity that I need. So sometimes, you know, it's even as we're dealing with some of the challenges now. When I'm slow to make a decision, it's not because I don't know. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for God's word. I'm waiting for something to touch my soul and spirit. And so you can't always rush that. No. You know, and when those things, when that time is on your side, you got to do that. And a lot of people, they're not going to tell you they lead. They had this kind of a spiritual leadership model. Right. But I'm not bashful about sharing that.
Nah. Leaders should, man, because God is good, man. Yeah. God is, and He is merciful. You know, when I was in high school, when I was in middle school, you know, I had no idea. Listen, well, me and my friends had no idea that, you know, you was possible.
Yeah.
Like, we just didn't see guys like him, right? Because, you know, most of the time you don't know, you know, listen, man, you do not know what you can be when you don't see it, right? And nowadays, man, we have young men seeing you, right? Now you're the example. How does that feel to be the example now, man?
Yeah, well, man, I was at one of my middle school students a couple years ago. One of the assignments where they had to do a wax museum, right? And so they was doing these wax museums of all these, you know, famous trailblazers, African-American leaders and things like that. And so we got kids doing Malcolm and Rosa and Stokely Carmichael, got kids doing James Baldwin and Maya Angelou. And so I'm walking through the wax museum, and I get to this one kid, and I don't know who he's supposed to be. So you're supposed to touch the kid, and he was me.
Wow.
And dude, I was like,
get out of here.
I mean, I teared up, man. I was like, what? You know, and so I'm like, listen, man, there's so many important people that you could have really educated folk on, and so I didn't realize that had resonated with this young brother like that. And then I've had young brothers that stop me and tell me they want to be school superintendents, and I don't ever remember, you know, any of my friends or when we were growing up, anybody saying I want to be a district superintendent. Nobody. So when I hear kids, when I hear young brothers say that now, and young sisters say that, I'm like, wow, you know, you want to be a superintendent, right? And of a school district, that's powerful, man.
Right.
I mean, so but it's an awesome responsibility, but it's one that I accept humbly.
Wow, man. Listen, man. Not only do you lead, by words, man, you lead by action. Yeah, you don't mind rolling up your sleeves, man. Where did you get that kind of leadership skills from?
My grandmother. It's not no question. I know where I get my work ethic from my grandmother. No doubt about that. Alberta Hill didn't play. Rest in peace. I love my grandmother.
Salute.
But I get it from her. I've never in my life, I lived with my grandmother since I was 2 years old until I moved out of her house. And in my entire life, I don't recall a day she didn't go to work.
Wow.
And she worked at Baptist Hospital as a cafeteria worker for 40 plus years.
Wow.
And would get up and walk to, we didn't have a car, she would walk.
Walk to work.
Had to be there at 5:30, so she's walking at 4 o'clock in the morning to work. So I'm getting myself up in first grade, in kindergarten and first grade. I was a true latchkey kid.
Wow.
I had the door key around my neck. I'm getting myself up in kindergarten and first grade to get ready to go to school because my grandmother's already at work.
Wow.
And so my work ethic comes from her without a doubt. And she would always put those little, give me those little jewels about, don't accept half stepping from anybody. Don't you give anybody a half step.
Wow.
Make sure that you do the best jobs you could possibly do. A man should have something to do every day. I mean, you shouldn't be in the bed after a certain time. By 8 o'clock, every man should be up with something to do. What's your plan for
That's
the morning?
me right
You
there.
know what I'm saying?
Sleeping in bed.
You know what I'm saying? So she always was on that kind of stuff, man.
Right.
So to this
Drilling.
day, I can't lay in the bed late.
Wow.
I make
No
my
sleeping
bed up
man.
when I get
There you
up
go.
every morning. I always got something to do,
Wow,
and I'm up working
man.
all the time. Always
Man.
looking for the next thing.
Listen, that was instilled, man.
Yeah.
Instilled, right? Listen, there's nothing like hard working grandparents, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that love, man. Right? But there's nothing like that mother's love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So listen, man, make sure you guys go give your grandmothers a huge fat kiss for us. All right? Because I'm telling you, man, they rule the world, man. Grandmothers rule the world, man. I'm telling you.
No doubt.
Oh, man. So, you lead so much, man. You have so many titles, man, and so many, you face so many challenges, man. What does Dr. Davis do to take care of himself?
Yeah. It's probably one of the areas in my life that I probably struggle with the most is good self-care. So, I mean, I try to play golf whenever I can. I do read a lot. I try to read quite a bit when I have time, and I like to travel when I can. But a routine of self-care, I'm awful at that. I don't have a routine of self-care, and I realize that that's something I got to do a better job at as I get older. Particularly, raising 3 girls and being a husband, you got to find that time to make sure that you are. I do a great job at integrating my family into my work life, but that's not the way it should be.
Right.
I shouldn't be integrating my family to my work life like that, And so I had to work on that. That's an area that I definitely need growth and improvement on. But I do spend enough time, I think, trying to find ways to take care of myself.
Awesome.
Mentally, for sure.
Definitely. Mentally.
Physically, I got to do a better job.
We grew up with so many friends, man, who didn't have dads, who didn't have mothers, right? Who didn't have that example of greatness, right? And you have so many titles, man. You wear so many different hats. But I feel like your best title is being called dad.
Yeah.
Right. And your daughters, man, get to see your greatness. That's awesome to me, man. Right. So how does that feel to you?
It's a great feeling. I feel blessed and to be able to be the superintendent in the school district that they work in. Now I don't know if they feel blessed sometimes because
you be on top of them.
I'm not only that, everybody know who they are.
Oh, yeah,
so they
yeah,
can't,
right,
they have a certain amount of stress and pressure I think that come along with that, but to have easy access to them, and more importantly, that what I want to emulate for them and provide an example and illustration for them is what a good man should be, what a loving man should be, look like, and how he should treat his wife and his children. That they realize that they are priority one, and you know, second to my relationship with God, they are my primary priority, and so it's good to be able to have that. You know, we try to limit school discussions at the house. You know, sometimes it happens. Well, I don't want to hear every little thing that went on at school and things like that, but focus more on them. What do they, you know, what they enjoy, and you know, and try to provide them with the things that they, everything that they need, and most of the things that they want. But it's a great feeling, man. And I love trying to be this example for them. They were a little apprehensive, I think, when I became superintendent. They're not overly impressed. Let me tell you, no.
Oh, that's good.
My kids aren't impressed by that, man. When I left the building as a principal to go to the district office, you know, they enjoyed, I think, me being the building principal more than it did being the superintendent, because I think that's just an undue extra attention that's on them, right? So.
It's a bullseye on them.
Yeah, but they love. I mean, it's like, yeah, okay, so dad's superintendent, and they throw my little slogans around.
And they're in college now.
Yeah, one of them is. One's in college, and two is in high school. One's in 11th grade, one's in 9th. Like be premier.
Yeah, be premier.
Yeah, all that kind of all my little stuff that I throw out there. And premier educational. Well, you know, they hit me up with that all the time. Yeah.
Oh man, the Premier 100, brother. What is that?
Oh man, it's you know, I'm super passionate about Premier 100, right? Premier 100 is my initiative to recruit and retain 100 men of color into the teaching profession. Okay. Specifically in Richland School District 2. We understand that particularly African American men in the classrooms is about roughly 2% nationwide. We have in our school district right now 6% of our teachers are men of color or African American male teachers. We want to increase that number, and because men of color, African American male teachers specifically, the impact on a child's life, particularly a young African American student, their graduation rates increase, their dropout rates decrease. They get in less, have less referrals. There are so many things, but more importantly, they just provide a role model and a healthy structure for them. But one of the things that I've been insisting on, T, was that I don't want black boy whisperers. You know, I don't want black teachers, male teachers, African American male teachers, and men of color, whatever. I don't want them there to try to hold black kids to be the ones to put the black boys in check. Right. We've had enough of that. Right. I need intellectual giants and kings, people who see themselves as intellects. Wow. And who are there to help develop critical thinkers, educated men, educated women, who value and understand the importance of knowledge, man, and the gift that gives to them. That's what I'm looking for, and we've been successful this year. Even in the midst of the pandemic, we were able to get 23. The goal was 25 a year for 4 years. We hit 23 this year, so you know I'm real thankful for my folk on working hard to make that happen. Yeah.
Listen. So going forward, man, what's your vision for District 2 going forward?
My vision is really centered around developing global citizens of tomorrow. Young men and women who are not only prepared to lead and excel in their chosen pathways, but for people to also be able to identify and develop their talent and to give them a platform for that talent to shine, man. And so that's what we work on. I am committed to this idea of helping people self-actualize, to be the best version of themselves, and like you and like me, and what we talk about is like how we didn't see that when we were in school. I want them to see that in high school. I want them to be, and by the time they graduate, I want them to be able to see themselves and envision themselves at the best, at the highest level of, and that's what they're shooting for every day. So if they want to be the next music engineer,
Right.
music producer, or they
Right.
want to be the next, civil rights attorney,
Right.
or they want to be the next, physicist or chemist, or if they just want to be an entrepreneur, I don't care.
Right.
Whatever pathway they decide they want, I just want them to see themselves as the best version of that thing, wherever, how many years down the road, and give them an opportunity to develop that while they're in school.
Oh, that's awesome, Doc. That's awesome. Now, you know that we are facing, some troubling times right now with this whole pandemic, man. How has this, my question, how has District 2, man, governed themselves throughout this, let's say throughout this whole pandemic?
Right now we're still in a virtual, using a virtual format. We're 100% virtual, and we are following the guidelines that have been developed by DHEC.
Okay.
Based off the spread of the virus in our community in the Richland County, based off the number of incident rates we've had over a 2-week period, and based off the trend rate, whether that number is going up and down. But we've been committed to improving our teachers' capacity and skill set in delivering the educational experience virtually. So our classrooms is what you call a synchronous classroom experience for the most part, which means all of the kids are together online. It's not like we're not sending packets home. We're not sending home links.
Okay.
They're online like you would be in a Zoom meeting, and there's a teacher there teaching, and she's sharing her screen and she's teaching with the kids all there together.
Wow.
And so we're doing that K through 12 and monitoring the spread of the virus in our community, and as that spread begins to trend downwardly, we'll be beginning to prepare to go into our second phase.
Wow. Listen, man, my guy's in the building, y'all. Dr. Davis is in the building, man. So let me ask you this, Doc. This is so important to me, man. Why is voting so important to you?
Wow, man. You know what, man? So many people have. Listen. It better be important. It better be important to all of us, man.
It has to be important. It has to be important, man.
It is our right. It is our opportunity to voice our pleasure or displeasure, our preferences, our needs. It's our time to advocate for ourselves and advocate for our community. And we do that by electing those officials who have our interests at heart, our best interests at heart. And so you can't make any significant impactful legislative changes in this country if you don't have the right to vote. And we've had that right had been suppressed for so long, or it didn't even exist for so long.
Exactly.
And that's how how many of the things were allowed to remain. Things that were clearly unjust, things that were clearly unequal, clearly things that were not in the best, lived up to the ideals of this country, which were all men are created equal with a certain indelible rights and life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
Right.
We have been constantly fighting for those things to apply to us.
Constantly.
Specifically as African Americans, we've been constantly fighting that battle from the time those words were written till today.
Wow.
1776 is when this thing was written. Until today, we still fighting for those words to be the words to consider us. And so one of the ways we do that is to ensure that we have people in power who represent us and also represents the whole.
Man, listen, I couldn't have said it better, y'all. Could not have said it better. Listen, Doc, if you can look in that camera right now and you can see that young 17-year-old, leaving C.A. Johnson, not really sure what life has in store for him, what would you say to that young 17-year-old, man? Leaving Saxon Holmes, man, leaving those circumstances, not really knowing who, not really knowing who this guy could be, right? Not knowing his true, potential. What would you tell that, that young man?
Yeah, I would tell that young brother, that 17-year-old version of myself, I would say, whatever it is that you desire to be, whatever it is how you see yourself as the best version of you. Believe that version of yourself you can accomplish that. Stay courageous, be fearless, stay humble, and always continue to as you walk through life with both hands like this, one to help and one to be helped.
Oh wow! So
if you can do that, we stay connected, brother. When we walk like this and I'm being helped and I'm helping, then we're always connected.
Wow!
It's when you let your hand go from somebody else's hand, you break the chain.
Oh wow!
And when you break the chain, the energy is lost, and we got too many broken chains.
Too many broken chains.
Yeah,
Wow!
No doubt.
Wow! Listen, man. Words of wisdom, man. From the GOAT himself, man, Dr. Baron Davis, man. I'm telling you, man. Hey, man, this guy's something else, man. He's dearly loved by us, man. Meaning his brothers, man, because he has put in the work, man. His leadership is unmatched. I'm telling you, it's unmatched. And the guy's still young, man. I'm telling you, this guy has so much more in store, all right? So we're gonna be looking out for this guy. Now, for those who, may want to follow this guy, how can they follow you, Doc?
Yeah, my Twitter and Instagram handles are all both the same, at Dr. Baron Davis. No period, just DrBaron Davis. And that's both for Instagram and Twitter.
Boom, boom. Now you guys know we can't let Doc leave without asking him the magic question. Should be an easy question, right? Right. But it should be an easy answer because we the bros. Doc, you love chicken. Right? Doc, you eat chicken.
Yeah.
Right, Doc? Okay, now Doc, okay, this is important, Doc. This is one of the most important questions on earth right now, Doc. Q, you ready for the question? Q, say you ready for the question. Doc, when it comes to chicken, do you prefer the flats or drums?
Listen, man, that's crazy because I'm in the minority, man, for sure. I prefer the drums. And I know I'm in the minority on that for whatever reason. I'm in the minority on that.
We love the drums.
I love the drums,
we
man.
love,
Give me all drums, man. My order come out much faster, too.
Much faster.
Much faster.
Keep your flat, okay? Give me all the drums, man. We won't have no problem.
No problem,
I promise
man.
you. Listen, we have scored us one. I told you this guy was phenomenal, okay? He's from C.A. Johnson, okay? What did you expect? Nothing but greatness, all right? Drum Nation, stand up. I told you, flat lovers, you're weirdos, okay? And we coming for you. We coming for you, flat lovers, man. Stay away, okay? You stay away. Listen, thanks again, y'all. Remember to tune in to another impactful episode of the Community Vibes, where we highlight people who are doing, phenomenal things within their respective communities. All right, that's important. Listen, we have to give each other the flowers, man, so you can smell them now. Okay, don't wait till people are dead and gone. Okay, give it to them now, right? Show love. Listen, we have too much hate in the world going on right now. There's too much hate. Let's give love, man. Make somebody smile today, okay? And tell somebody that you love them. All right, and make sure that you go register to vote. And then go vote. Okay? Okay? And then go vote. Okay? Yeah. Use your voice, man. Use your right, man. Somebody died for that right. Okay? And when you leave there, come to 7510 Gardner Road and come get you a smoothie.
Right. All right. No doubt. Shout out to you too, T-Tuck, man. This is a phenomenal forum, man, for you that you're doing for the community.
Thank you, sir.
Man. This is awesome, man. I hope much success to this.
Thank you, brother.
Continue doing the great work,
yes, sir.
man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
it. God bless you to do, bro.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Well, we are standing on the shoulders of giants, and he's one of my giants, okay? So, listen, we tell this guy, man, we can't give him too many flowers. Why? Because he's not done, okay? He's not done. My guy's still climbing. He's still climbing, and we'll still follow him because he's the leader, all right? So trust me, man, you are, listen, my mama used to say, man, whoever you follow, right, that's your success right there. Alright, so you following losers, you gonna become a loser out here in these streets, okay? So follow a winner, man. Follow a winner out here, y'all. God bless, man. Listen, put God first, okay?
No doubt.
Be
Salute.
Yo, Kingdom. Community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe. You say you won't shine, come get your shine on. You say you want vibes, come get your vibe on. Community vibes, community ties. Terrance Tucker is the brother who's connecting the tribe. Hey, you say you won't shine, we'll get your shine on. You say you want vibes, we'll get your vibe on.